Hi friends, and welcome to my channel. This is a podcast where I enjoy sharing my insights, and today the reflection is called Trigger Happy. And you might consider it a reflection on how to be a real peacekeeper. To keep yourself from pulling the trigger, calling it, judging it, jumping off the edge, being edgy, being uptight, all of it's the same. How do we take our hand off of the trigger? How do we learn slower reaction times, and why is that useful? Stick around and we'll talk about what it means to be trigger happy. If you can remember back in the 80s, there were several sitcoms that dealt with suicide. I can remember an episode of The Golden Girls where Rose had to talk her friend off of a ledge. And usually it's some kind of negotiation, like, think this through, give it a little more time, wait before you do something drastic. It's a negotiation to consider it again. Now, in some movies and television shows, the victim is too far gone, too far into or over the ledge that you can't talk them back. And what is this edge? This feeling that you're dangling on a precipice? That might be considered hell on earth. The anticipation or ominous feeling that your life is just putting out one damn fire after the next. It's this feeling of, now what? Oh God. Right? Have you been there? Go to the mailbox. Oh, what kind of bill is going to be? Oh man. Oh shit. You open up your email. Oh, jeez. What kind of, there's going to be a notice in there. I've got more work. Oh, man. That's the edge. Or you got status quo. You're at least all right. And then someone in your family or a friend sucks you into their drama. And you suddenly become part of their emotional distress. Oh, such and such is in... Oh, man. What are we going to do? And you're off. So a life like that is kind of a race, if you will. A race to beat the universe, to dominate life, to prevent an accident, to try to keep the sinister forces of the universe from harming you. So that it's basically this hyped up distrust of everything. And it's a feeling of being off, much like a race. So the starting pistol is right here. And we're off. It's all this. Can you see it in a movie? And we're off. And this manifests as a distrust. See, this is the thing, we live with this sense that something's about to happen. And a lot of people anticipate disaster. That's called edginess. I live with this. I was the world's worst. I had my finger on the trigger all the time. I'd go to work and think, oh, what is today? Oh, man, today, I just know. Such and such's not going to show up and blah, blah, blah. Oh, jeez. And then the dean is going to give me all kind of new work to do and I don't have time for it. You've been there? You know what I'm talking about? It's like walking on eggshells because you just think one disaster after the next is coming to you. And every once in a while you get a lucky break. You're just lucky enough to get through the day without a fire to put out. That's living on the edge. That's a total distrust in life and a distrust in yourself that you'll be able to deal with whatever comes your way. It's jumping down someone's throat if they look at you wrong. It's blowing your horn at traffic that can't move. It's throwing an emotional fit when the bank account goes down or a bill comes. It's an emotional explosion when you have a pain and you Google your symptoms and all of a sudden you got cancer. You see what I'm saying? What you would call trigger happy is jumping to conclusions and concluding it with a disastrous outcome. Something you call death. We think death is the most disastrous outcome there could possibly be when death is inevitable. How can it be disastrous when it's inevitable? How can it be preventable when it's inevitable? So there's a feeling of getting really comfortable with death. And I talk about death a lot in some of my other talks. And I contemplate my own death. And tomorrow, the idea of tomorrow is a kind of fear of death. We sense the so-called future. There is a present moment, but I feel like there's an ominous feeling like I'm over dramatizing it. But you can see it on the faces of people. You can see it when people, you can see it in photographs. If you really are a peacekeeper, somebody who does not react very quickly, does not get sucked into drama, does not live on the edge, you'll see it in photographs. If they take an honest photograph, you'll see it in their eyes. I look at photographs just to see if there's real joy and peace behind the countenance. You'll see in photographs, I see this all the time, a deadening of the eyes. I'm over exaggerating that. But the eyes really tell us what kind of a peacekeeper you are. And the responsibility that you have to keeping the peace is to keep a close eye on your condition. Not a ball and chain kind of thing. But if you monitor the conditions, you might feel sad. You might. But does it warrant a reaction? See, this is the key to keeping peace, is that it allows you to keep enough space to realize that even though you feel sad, or you might feel a pain, or you might have an upcoming problem, that you don't need to get swept away in the tumultuous current of reaction. And that your responsibility for peacekeeping is really keeping some space from the trigger. That is not to say you might not get triggered. This happened to me the other day. I dropped some butter on the floor and oh man! And I was like, no need. It's just butter on the floor, right? So the practice of peace, the practice of peacekeeping is a lot like learning a musical instrument. if you have the patience to learn a musical instrument, then you might have the patience to become a good peacekeeper. Because it is a constant practice. Nobody perfects peace. In the same way that nobody perfects playing the piano. They just can get really, really, really good at it if they practice, if they're good practice, if they get good at practicing the piece every single day. So, if you were my piano student, I would give you something very, very easy to play. We start with something in C major. We'd work on relaxing and learning how to let it be without having to get involved and frustrated. You can't try to play the piano. In the same way you can't try to pay your taxes, right? And all this trying is really what frustrates us. It's doing. To be a peacekeeper, you have to do. To learn anything, you have to do. And it takes a long time to pull that hand off of the trigger, to not pounce, to not call it, oh damn, oh man, this is over, my life is ruined. The fat lady really doesn't sing. There's no ending. There's a little more time to consider it. And you're going to commit yourself to practicing peace even if you're in hospice or in prison or in court or with a dwindling bank account that's falling faster than a lead balloon, or through a divorce, or through a child's illness, or through the loss of a loved one, or through a declining period of health. These are the challenges we face. Don't even get me started about the so-called world. You got enough of what feels like life turning the screws on you. And the best way is to practice peace in a simple environment for a few minutes a day. Like your scales. If you're going to play the piano, you're going to play your scales. Oh, it was a little tense there. Let me try that again. Loose wrist position. Okay, great. We're going to loosen up again and try that again. This dog, and I don't know if you can see her in the camera. When I first found, she was Australia. I found her. She couldn't keep her peace when she saw a cat go apeshit, squealing, trying to get off the leash. Now she sees a cat and we keep the peace. She used to be the same way with squirrels. She'd see squirrels and she'd go apeshit. Pure fear. A cat! And now we see a cat and it's a little pull towards it. I'm a little scared, but I'm practicing. We've practiced walking on the leash where there are no cats. Now it's the possums, because we go early in the morning. The possums are still she's after it. So we've been practicing. We started off small. She's keeping her peace better. When the doorbell rings, it's not a whole big old drama. It's just the doorbell. We have to teach her it's just the doorbell. It's just a new person. It's just an email. It's just a disease. It's just a thought. It's just some money going in and out. It's just a divorce. It's just climate change. So you realize a lot of this you can't do anything about. The things that you react to. The news, social media. What can you do about that? Even your own emotions are like weather conditions. You get something arises in you and you think, I'm going to do something about my emotions. No. We're going to keep the peace. We're going to feel the emotion, but we will not let it sweep us into the riptide. We're going to monitor our emotions, but we're not going to try to control them. In the same way, we'll monitor the weather and not try to control it. Oh, it's cloudy today. Or, it's cloudy today. Oh my God. Ah! Oh, I have a little nerve. I've got some nerves in my. What is going on in here? Oh, I'm a little tight. Okay. Whew. Practice the peace. You see, that's your superpower. And if you practice the peace enough, what comes out is a little bit of bubbling joy. It's like, okay. And so you can go to the office, you can get in traffic, you can go into complex environments, and people say, what are you all happy about? I don't have a reason to be happy. There's an unreasonable happiness and contentment that bubbles up through keeping the peace. That's the benefit of it. That's called equanimity, homeostasis. And so you'll find yourself getting in these little situations which would have normally triggered you, which is you reacting to it. Now you got a little time. Are you going to pull the trigger and have a big shit fit? Like I used to do? When something goes awry, you deal with it. You deal with it with this great comportment and like, okay, I can't change it, but I can creatively deal with it. I will have the ideas. I will have the resources. I'm okay as it comes up. As the moment strikes, I will not pull my finger on the trigger and make a big scene. The other day we were working out, and at my particular gym, some people can Bluetooth into a speaker and play their own music. Do I like that? No. Recently, some music was playing, and it was this horrible music with the N word and the F word and the hoe and bitch and all stuff. And it was rhythmic and driving, and it was enough to drive me mad. But I said to he said, you want me to tell him to turn that off? I was like, no. I want to practice my peace. I want to practice in this complex environment, so that maybe I could find that skill useful in my daily life and with other people. Because if there is a tragedy, I can be a first responder, somebody who has learned to maintain peace and think creatively. We're going to need creative thinkers, and the only way to think creatively is if you are not reactionary. That's the beauty of it. But it's practiced. A lot of people want to learn how to play the piano, and they think in their first lesson they can play Chopin. No. So we practice maintaining the peace by putting ourselves in simple environments. A walk in the park for 2 minutes. No phone, no distractions, just keeping the peace. Now, the first time you try this, your mind's going to spin up. You're going to think, oh, this is a waste of time. This is so stupid, blah, 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 blah. And we're off. And that's the life we live. Put the gun down. Back up off the edge. Stop being so edgy. Begin to trust yourself. Begin to trust others. Begin to trust timing. This is I said, this feeling, oh, something's about to happen, is, oh, something is about to happen. Something is about to happen. So it's no longer ominous, which is a fear of yourself, but a trust that something is about to happen and it's always in my highest good. I can trust this foretaste. I can trust the preeminence of what's before me. You see, there is something in Scripture called the fear of the Lord. There's something in you that knows into the so-called future. I call it my preeminence. There's presence. I'm here now. But then there's this preeminence which seems before me. And I can also look hindsight and see the benefit of what was behind me. So I know it's all working to my highest good, and I am safe, and there's no such thing as being on the safe side. Cautiousness is really paranoia, is distrust. Being cautious and on the safe side means that you think there is an unsafe side. A true peacekeeper knows there is no unsafe side, even death, even war, even all these sinister things I can't explain. But the safety and the peace can be found in a busy city. The safety and the peace can be found on a hospice bed. The safety and the peace can be found in a dying patient. You can sense there's a beauty and a peace to death. The beauty and the peace can be found in a broken, so-called broken family. And when you begin to find that beauty and peace and that stillness, even in a busy city or a so-called busy life, it grows. And as it grows, you're not so susceptible to pulling the trigger and calling it. Oh, this is a disaster. Oh. You can give it a little more time, a little more consideration, a little more thought. Then you become a real peacekeeper. Someone who is not lured in by the drama of the ego. Slow reaction time, practicing the peace. I hope you'll join me in being a peacemaker. More or less, let's be peace practitioners. Check out my blog if you have a moment. It's called mymorningmotivator.com.